Hello and welcome to this edition of Headlines Nigeria on Internet Television International, reaching you from our Abuja studios in Nigeria. I'm Christine Opara. Let's take a quick look at the headlines for today. In the news today, next newspaper, special police team to rescue journalists. Ogbonna Onovo, the Inspector General of Police, has ordered the deployment of special detectives from Imo and Akure states to assist in the rescue of 5 journalists kidnapped on Sunday. Emmanuel Ojukwu, the spokesperson of the police, said on Monday that the police are concerned about the abduction of the journalists, which took place in Abia State while they were returning from the National Executive Council meeting of the Nigerian Union of Journalists held in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. This day newspaper, Jonathan extends pay rise to military police. President Goodluck Jonathan has extended the new salary package to the military, paramilitary, police and intelligence community who were not always covered by similar salary reviews in the past. Also in this day newspaper, federal government orders completion of Mambilla power plant. The federal government has ordered the immediate completion of Nigeria's single largest and oldest power project, the Mambilla hydropower project located in Gembu, Taraba State. It also directed that a revised program including the feasibility study of the Mambilla dams be completed in a fortnight. Vanguard newspaper, Deji of Akure, tension as ruling house disowns 3 candidates. The tussle for the chieftaincy stool of the Deji of Akure land took another dimension yesterday as the Ojijigogun ruling house that is expected to produce the next traditional ruler disowned 3 candidates whose names were said to have been shortlisted by it. Also in Vanguard newspaper, Ohakim condemns kidnap of journalists in Abia. Imo State Governor Chief Ikedi Ohakim has condemned the reported kidnap of the chairman, Lagos State Council of Nigerian Union of Journalists (NUJ) and his colleagues in Obingwa Council area of Abia State. Chief Ohakim, who made the condemnation in the chat with Vanguard, recalled with grief that the victims of the criminal acts were returning from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State capital, where they attended the National Executive Council of the Union. Daily Trust newspaper, FG panel pegs minimum wage at 18,000 naira. Workers in the public and private sectors nationwide are to be entitled to a minimum wage of 18,000 naira monthly if recommendations of a committee set up by the federal government are approved. The tripartite committee on national minimum wage, headed by Justice Salihu Modibo Alpha Belgore, submitted its report to the government yesterday, pegging the new minimum national wage for all public and private organizations that have up to 50 employees. Now we move over to politics. Next newspaper, Kalu leads PPA members back to PDP. Former Abia State Governor Orji Kalu yesterday led some members of the Progressive People's Alliance, PPA, back to the People's Democratic Party in a meeting held at PDP National Secretariat in Abuja. Mr. Kalu, who is the PPA's Chairman Board of Trustees, said the defection was to fulfill his promise of cooperating with the PDP in delivering the dividends of democracy to Nigerians. Daily Independent, Ladoja supporters jubilate over INEC stand on PDP executives. Supporters of former Governor Rashidi Ladoja of Oyo State openly jubilated in Ibadan Monday morning following media reports that the Independent National Electoral Commission does not recognize the congresses that produce the People's Democratic Party PDP executives in 5 states, including that of the Oyo State. Nigerian Compass newspaper, Bajomo brainstorms with LG coordinators over governorship manifesto. Determined to effectively pursue his political ambition in 2011, a People's Democratic Party governorship aspirant in Ogun State, Senator Kola Bajomo, has met with his campaign coordinators in all the 20 local government areas of the state to draw up his administration's manifesto. Also in the Nigerian Compass newspaper, PDP Group 6 return of IBB in 2011. As the race for the 2011 presidential elections hots up, a group of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) politicians of diverse cultural background in Oyo State have expressed their support for the ambition of the former military head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida. We move over to business. Daily Independent has it America to partner federal government on coal-to-power project. The United States government on Monday expressed readiness to partner with the federal government in its quest to use coal to power some of its electricity plants across the country. A statement by the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development in Abuja said Deputy Chief Mission to the United States Embassy in Nigeria, Dundas McCollum, disclosed this when he paid a courtesy call on the minister, Musa Muhammad Sada. Also in Daily Independent newspaper, ADB Islamic Bank gives Nigeria $5 billion for power. An additional $5 billion in foreign loans came from the power sector in Nigeria on Monday to upgrade the most vital infrastructure for the economy, the lack of which scares investors and stunts growth. The Africa Development Bank provided $3 billion and the Islamic Development Bank $2 billion. Next newspaper, governments to encourage mining. The federal government is committed to provide a conducive legal, social and fiscal environment for the private sector to invest in the mining sector, with private sector as key players and attention to be given to the small-scale operators. Punch newspaper, NRC to commence Enugu Mass Transit Service. The Nigerian Railway Corporation is set to commence the Enugu leg of its intra-city mass transit train service on July 26, 2010. This is coming on the heels of the recent inauguration of the Kano mass transit train service. Also in the Punch newspaper, Nigerian stock market may experience another crash, says experts. Unless the funds injected into the financial system recently by the Central Bank of Nigeria are judiciously utilized to stabilize and bring life back to the weak banks and by extension the stock market, the latter may soon experience another round of asset bubble. Experts who spoke with a Punch correspondent said the bubble might burst soon if adequate measures were not put in place by regulators. Now we move over to sports. Nigerian Compass newspaper, World Cup heroes land in Madrid. Spain's victorious World Cup heroes returned to Madrid yesterday. Captain Iker Casillas and coach Vicente Del Bosco held the gleaming trophy aloft as the team plane touched down at Barajas Airport. Next newspaper, Utaka's post-mouth exit imminent, says coach. John Utaka looks likely to be saying a final goodbye to fans of English side Portsmouth in the days ahead after the championship side's manager, Steve Cotterill, admitted on Monday that the Nigerian forward is on the verge of leaving the club. Also in next newspaper, lack of fair play spurred final, says Blatter. FIFA President Sepp Blatter admitted on Monday that he was let down by the behavior of the players in Sunday's World Cup final between Netherlands and Spain. The final was not exactly what FIFA and what myself had expected in terms of fair play, he told reporters. Punch newspaper, 1.4 billion naira scandal. EFCC raids NFF Secretariat. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on Monday raided the Secretariat of the Nigerian Football Federation in Abuja. Punch correspondent learned that the raid was part of the investigation into the 1.4 billion naira scandal rocking the football house. And on that note, we end this edition of Headlines Nigeria. I'm Christine Opera. Thanks for logging in.